Hello and welcome my soul tribe to the October zodiac series. We're going to start with Aries, but before I begin, because I just kind of brought out some of my decks and was inspired to create, just focusing on certain aspects of October for us, as I was doing that, something fell out of my cabinet and it was my Be Fearless candle. And it fell this way, so I feel like I need to read this. We have Be Mindful. Did you know Franklin's bumblebee is on the edge of extinction and hasn't been seen since 2006? Befriend the bees, speak up, talk to your friends and neighbors about the importance of bees. Okay, so giving some love to the pollinators is important at this time. In particular, bees might be a symbol for you, but I was guided to share that from Spirit and happy to do so, of course. So remember that these are collective in general. Receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Never give your power away to a reading or an outcome. Remember, your conscious creator. If I feel that we need to do an extended, that will be available in my Patreon extended videos only membership, which is linked below. Let's go ahead and dive into it. We're going to start with Aries. Okay, Aries. So you have some interesting energy that's coming through here. Starting off, I wanted to get into, I do have the Seasons of the Witch Mabon Oracle. And the card that was pulled for you is Pumpkin Spice and Apple Cider. Nothing is more nostalgic than the joy of belonging in your presence, okay? So for those of you that have been too busy with life in general or spending a lot of time around others, this is about taking time to just be in your own presence in a very cozy and a very comfortable environment. We have pumpkin spice and apple cider, so we have the flavors of the month, right? Of the autumn season. And if you look at pumpkin spice and actually what is in pumpkin spice and the magical properties of it, you might be somewhat surprised, right? And you have, the apple cider and there's just kind of those flavors and celebrating and enjoying the changing of the season and just kind of embracing it. And this is a way that you can do that, Aries. But you see here, she also has those candles. So connecting with the element of fire and your intention and releasing, but this is a serious level of cozy and embracing the season that could be very helpful for you at this time, especially if you're in a burnout, kind of feeling that burnout energy right now, or you just would like some peace and quiet. You just like to, listen and connect in with yourself here. And what I love about this message is it says there is nothing more nostalgic than the joy of belonging in your presence. So this is also about your wholeness, your value, to yourself and belonging in your presence. So this is your self-love. This is your unconditional self-love and appreciating your peace and appreciating your presence. Okay. So that's something that's important for you here, Aries, in October, to connect in with your personal power. And some of you, it might be also you like to decorate or you like to do certain things that help you kind of get into the season. We have the number 30 also being significant here for you, Aries. When I pulled one of the cards for kind of, an event or it's just one of the fortune cards, we have expectations. So there's something that you are expecting or you're raising your expectations here. Okay. With the expectation, we have 8 and 2, and that becomes a 10, which is the completion of a cycle. So it feels like you're waiting for something to release, something to end so that something new can begin here, Aries. So that's kind of what it feels like, is like you're on the verge of a new beginning, which is definitely the Aries energy as the first sign in the zodiac, right? The expectation card and connecting with belonging in your presence and joy also brings in those frequencies of expecting good things to happen, expecting those blessings to flow in, opening up and receiving and knowing you are worthy of those blessings is also a message that is coming through for you. And I do have to say again, there's a level of cozy, and some of you maybe like spending time indoors might be cozy, being, kind of a bit of homebodies at this time, or taking time to rest and recharge and just get comfortable. Okay. That's something else that's coming through here. Now we get into the soul truth energy. It's interesting. We have, what am I most afraid of losing? So some of you could be dealing with some, fears of abandonment that are coming through, or there's just a lot of fear energy right now, obviously happening and circulating within the collective. And it says, as we grow, change, and transform our lives, it requires us to let go of something that was in order to make room for what will be. If you were to move forward, okay, would you feel scared of losing something? What if it was a big fat lie? What if it was impossible to lose anything because you have the power to give yourself everything you need? Okay, so there is some illusion that is playing here. Of course, we know loss is a truth, right, in our experience. But there's this sense of naming the fear, calling it out, addressing it, transmuting it, and moving forward. And today's mantra is, I move forward knowing I'm powerful beyond measure. Be fearless. I am powerful beyond measure. I am loved, I am safe, and I belong. Again, the belonging card. So those of you that were, struggling with feeling like you belong or some self-love, that's a message here that is coming through very strong. And again, we have the Aries full moon that, just occurred, which was about kind of releasing the old fears, okay, and the restrictions and the, basically stepping outside of our comfort zone, and that being something that's charged with excitement rather than fear. So there is a shift happening where you're becoming more fearless, Aries, and it makes sense because, again, leading the way as the first of the zodiac. But keep in mind, we're also I'm an Aries sun as well. Aries is we're also the babies of the zodiac too. So that's something to keep in mind, to balance out both parts and take the best care of yourself at this time. So when I asked how can you have more fun in October, we have the King of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. So this was really interesting. Some of you, if you're married, you have a family, it's spending time really getting into the season and getting into kind of the festivities and the fun of it, perhaps decorating with your family, with your friends. But it's enjoying and investing in these new beginnings and what you are kind of establishing within your experience, right? Some of you, if you have a partner with a King of Pentacles, it could be that, it's spending time with your partner here, investing in things that bring you joy, okay, appreciating what you have and being present in the moment. If you don't have children or you don't have nieces and nephews around you, this could be spending time with the animals in your life. This could be spending time doing things your inner child desires to do at this time, right? Obviously, we're coming up on Samhain, on Halloween, in October. So there are certain things that we like to do, but there's also certain things we like to do in the season of autumn, right? So whether it's something crafty or something magical or all of the above, watching certain movies, things like that, embrace it. Embrace those moments, embrace, nurturing your inner child. That's something that's really important here. But some of you, yes, it's decorating, because the Four of Wands can represent a house or structure. Four of Wands is also celebration and parties. So spending time with people that celebrate you, that enjoy, you in your full power, Aries. That's coming through very strong. I would also say there's a message here for masculines and feminines watching to also be aware of what you're taking in your mental diet, how much time and energy, how you're spending your time and energy. Like, are you spending it when you're around your family? Are you on your phone, or are you watching the TV, or are you connecting with your family and those around you? Are you being present in the moment? Because you can be energetically draining yourself if that's what you're doing a lot of the time. Now, when we get into the tarot, the other tarot deck here, I wanted to ask just kind of where you're at on your timeline, Aries. And we have powerfully the Three of Swords for masculine and feminine energy, which I forgot this deck has both in here. So if you're watching this and you're a feminine, what it feels like happening is, first I saw the Three of Swords and I was like, oh, you see the Three of Swords, and you're like, oh no, But this Three of Swords, and what I heard when it came forward, is you're releasing old emotional density or old emotional pain or hurt, right? So that's being released here for the feminine energy. So you might have a good cry, you might have a good rage session, you might, just have some, take some space and time to really process your emotions in a healthy and safe way, right? But it's old pain that is surfacing to be released. Again, aligned with the Aries full moon, right? Has to do with us releasing kind of old identities. Now, if you're watching as a masculine, you're releasing an old narrative, okay? So this could be about yourself, this could be about the world, this could be about your life, but what you're doing is you're releasing basically what you were giving power to, and this sense of victimhood. So you're releasing an old narrative that was disempowering you. And you're realizing that you're the creator, that you have the pen, that you can create a new narrative. So where with the feminine energy, it's more emotional in the heart space, the masculine energy, it's within the mental energy, it's within the head space, right? So that's also, again, connects in with all the images and all the things that we're taking in on our day to day within our mental diet, whether it's on social media, whether it's on the news. As human beings, we are not meant to take in so much, to know so much all the time and be bombarded with all of the fear and all of the pain and all of this, corruption and disruption. We are not meant for that, right? So making sure that we protect our peace and we limit ourselves and we tap in and connect in, because I can feel with this masculine energy, just taking in all this information and being like, okay, like trying to problem solve everything. And that's taking away from the present moment. That's taking this masculine out of his body and into his head. And it's pretty much bringing him into a space of fear. He's forgetting the power of his thoughts. He's forgetting the power of his focus. Okay. So that's something that's coming through here quite strong. So why is this happening on your timeline, Aries? Well, we have the Two of Cups and we have the King of Cups, so that you can move deeper into your heart space. Those of you that are in relationships now, you're clearing and healing at this time in order to come together in a beautiful union, in an aligned way, meeting each other kind of on the same page. And with that King of Cups, it's opening up the heart space. Divine masculine energy that's talked about all the time, or you talked about healthy masculine energy, it's connected in with the heart space. It's having this beautiful balance, and that's what's coming through. But there's also this recognition of the value that you both bring, and how you are kind of two parts, you're whole as yourselves, yes, but how you can bring your strengths to the table in a beautiful balance. There's healing, there's love, there's emotions, there's a heart space, energetic heart space cracking open, right? There's more sensitivities and intuitive, I would say intuitive intelligence and awareness that is coming forward here too. But for many of you, what you're clearing now is preparing you for deepening into love. And if you're single, it's like whoever your counterpart is, wherever they are in the world, they're going through what they need to go through in order for you to unite and come together at the right time and be ready and open for your love, for your connection, for working together, right? So with this King of Cups energy, there is that sense that he's on a boat and he's traveling and he's navigating these emotional waters right now. But it's to bring you together. It's for you to come together. And again, if you're in a relationship, a healthy one, you both are moving through these transformations right now so that you can deepen within your love. You can deepen within your unity, within your connection to be a loving force on this planet, which is needed right now, right? And we also have the Wise One, which is the Hierophant energy, right? It is the energy of marriage, commitment, higher calling, higher path, right? It's creating, there's a lot of change that's happening, for you in October, Aries. And it's like you're being prepared for this. Many of you, it's the wisdom also that you are embodying here too, right? I'm also seeing some people like maybe, embracing therapy more or embracing more healing modalities. I'm seeing that also with the Wise One. But there's healthy healing change, and there's moving about with more embodied wisdom, okay? Often Aries get the reputation of being spontaneous and not thinking things through, and yes, that does happen. But I feel like the Aries collective I'm connecting in with now, it's like you are moving in a more embodied way, right? There's also a deepening of commitment. October, there could be, some, definitely some emotional outpouring of love, okay, and confessions of love. But there's a deepening of commitment, and there's, those of us that are in relationships are looking at our relationships and being like, okay, what is our higher purpose together? Why are we on earth together at this time with everything going on? And there's tapping into that spirituality, and there's tapping into that meaning and that value and that inner truth too, which is coming through quite strong. So that's really beautiful. And then when we get into, I had to pull a few of the Halloween oracles. We have ancestors, the lore and legacy of our DNA. And we have apple, risk, and reward. Okay, so it feels like there's going to be some big moves you'll be making here, Aries, in October. And you have a lot of love and support from your ancestors. Some of you might even be tapping into some historical things at this time to learn about why we are where we are on our timeline now. Or you've been doing some healing, and when you do that healing work, when you break the cycles, of previous generations that are toxic, basically meaning there are cycles that were toxic, and you're the one where you heal it. You heal moving things forward and also backwards as well. So you're helping your ancestors, and I just feel a lot of love and support that is coming from your family, from your ancestors, with this love and legacy of our DNA coming through. There's also the energy of nature being really loving and supportive for you at this time, Aries. So like I said, as you're taking bold action and you're making big moves and you're doing this healing work, also honor that inner child in you that needs nurturing and reassurance, right? And allow nature to also bring that to you. Or it could be, an ancestor, a loved one, on the other side that connects with you, or a family member, whatever it is that feels like home to you. I feel like making sure you're connecting in deeply with that in October is important. And the risk and reward is, this is probably from the Aries full moon that we had, is like you're being empowered to step outside of your comfort zone. Some of you're being empowered to embrace love again or embrace a relationship again, right? There's a lot of healing that is happening here. And I feel like with that risk and reward, I feel like it's a kind of a calculated risk for you here, Aries. Now, we did also do something I haven't done in a long time, and I pulled some charms. So we do have some charms here. We have the glasses. We have the sloth with the mother and baby. So that's about that nurturing and allowing yourself to be supported, right? We have the angel. We have the sewing machine. And we have the mask. And the messages that kind of came through here, and of course, listen to your own intuition. With the glasses, it's like our vision is changing, right? Our mindsets are changing. Our identities are shifting and changing now. With that, that sloth there, it's about support. It's about receiving support from others and also giving support, reassuring and comforting your inner child as you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, as you're embracing more courageous, aligned action, right? And then you have that angel, reminding you, some of you, your earth angels, right? But this is also reminding you of your angelic team to call on their love and support to assist you, or your spiritual team. We have the sewing machine, which is about healing, getting creative, crafty energy, right? Putting our intentions into what we are making. And then we have the mask energy coming through. And this is about fantasy, okay? I know there's a lot of things around masks right now, but I'm not here to be promoting fear. So the mask energy and the message that I received with that is about connecting in with fantasy, about connecting with fun, connecting in with play, right? That was a big message that has been coming through here for you, Aries. So I don't know if I feel like I need to go any further into this, Aries, for an extended. No, I think that's it. So that's where I'm going to leave it for October. I hope that you embraced and received a lot of value for these messages to come through for you here today, Aries. Remember to trust in your instincts and your intuition, release anything that doesn't resonate for you that's not on your timeline. But October looks like, a great deal of preparing, some of this like healing and like releasing of an old cycle. And then remembering where you come from, remembering how much love and support's around you as you step outside of your comfort zone, as you move through illusions, right? Opening up yourself to receive blessings and finding that balance again between courageous action and then also, that comfort and that reassuring and kind of that cozy feeling. But yes, this is wonderful energy. Again, receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Thank you so much for joining me, Aries. Take the best care of yourself, and I will see you soon.